on the NCAA.
It is Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We're on the air, barely, but we made it. It is the 4th day of October, 2023. I'm Dan Kuntz, your host, and it's Wednesday. Do we have it? Yeah, Winning Wednesday. We're back with, we haven't done it in a couple of weeks. That's not my bad. Could have done it last week because I forgot I had these. And now I got 2 prizes up for grabs here today on Winning Wednesday. First things first, Some Basin Theaters, our good friends at Some Basin Theaters. They got the Liberty and they got the Gateway out there in Old Station. Good folks, thanks to Jenny. I got these passes. I've been sitting on them for a while. They're movie passes. You know, exchange this pass at the box office. Go watch a movie for free. And I just been sitting on them. Well, they expire at the end of the month. They expire on October 31st, Halloween. So I thought I better give these away since they're not going to be any good come November 1st. And so I got 4 of these. 4 of them, folks. 1, 2, 3. Trust me, I got 4 of them. But they do expire at the end of October, so you got to go to the movies between now and Halloween night for these things to be any good. Now, that's one prize, or Flannel Fest. Coming to the Grant County Fairgrounds in Moses Lake this Friday and Saturday. It is a 2-day festival. What is Flannel Fest? A whole bunch of tribute bands from the 90s. Linger will play hits by the Cranberries. Washed in Black is a Pearl Jam tribute band. Red Knot Chili Peppers, I think you probably understand what that is. They're all playing Friday. And then Saturday at Flannel Fest at the Grant County Fairgrounds, you got tribute bands for the Smashing Pumpkins, Blink-182. These are not the real bands. Nirvana, No Doubt, Alice in Chains, Green Day, Metallica. It's 3 bands on Friday night, all day Saturday, and I got 10 tickets to Flannel Fest, and they're good for both days. You can go Friday, you get a wristband, you can go back Saturday, or you can just go Saturday if you want. And I got 10 of these for one lucky winner. So enter winner at ncwlife.com, winner at ncwlife.com. That's how you enter. It's 1 entry per email address. If you have more than 1 email address, you can enter more than once. No problems there. You just can't enter continuously over and over again on the same email address. But in the subject line, you got to tell me what you want. You want 10 tickets? 10 tickets for both days of Flannel Fest, the Flannel Fest this weekend at the fairgrounds in Moses Lake. It sounds like a party to me. Or 4 tickets to see the movies, courtesy of Sun Basin Theater. So put that in your subject line and or email to me, winner at ncwlife.com. In the subject line, put either movies or Flannel Fest. There's only 2 things you need to know. For Flannel Fest, because they have a beer garden, they got a beer garden, they got, oh geez, they got camping, concessions, pizza, espresso, all kinds of snacks and stuff. You can camp there, the whole 9 yards at the Grant County Fairgrounds in Moses Lake. But because they have a beer garden, you got to be at least 21 to win the Flannel Fest tickets. There's no age limit on the movie tickets. It can be, you can be 6 months old. If you're 6 months old and you have an email address, I would be concerned. So in the subject line of your email, you have to put either you want the movie tickets, 4 of them, or 10 tickets to see Flannel Fest in Moses Lake this weekend. That sounds like a party. And again, these tickets are good for both days or either day or whatever. Winner at ncwlife.com. Employees of local communications solely on broadcasting and their immediate families are not eligible. Sorry, Alicia. Did I get all that in? It is mild. It's 61 degrees outside of our studios. Yesterday at this time, the relative humidity was almost 100%. Now it's 55%. It's much drier. It's going to be a beautiful, beautiful day today. Gorgeous Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. If you like it sunny and mild, and most people do. I got a weather forecast you're going to like, and then changes are going to come next week. Forecast details are coming up. There's a lot of news to get to today. Sports highlights of last night's Davis Pirates Eastmont Wildcats girls volleyball match. The Mariners had their postseason press conference because they're not in the postseason. We'll have that. And I had a number of people ask me, when are you going to re-air that interview that you did with Brandon Harley and his students at Wenatchee High School who have launched the award-winning podcast production and audio storytelling class, because it's a pretty fascinating thing and it's caught the attention of some big-time media. We're going to go ahead and replay that for you in the back half of the program. So in case you missed it, you can watch it again. It's pretty fascinating. You got a good thing going there at the Wenatchee High School. So lots going on this Winning Wednesday. Let's take our tour around the valley. It's already 5 minutes after the hour. We got a lot. We got to catch up here. Good morning to the Wenatchee Valley from our Heights camera. Just a couple of clouds, and that's about it. Sunrise about now, 7:04. Sunset tonight, 6:34. That buys us 11 and a half hours of daylight, 11 hours to 30 minutes. Yesterday's high, 74. That's where we're going to be today. Probably warmer, since we got down to 51 for the overnight low last night, and we're already at 61. I think we're going to be maybe upper 70s today. It's a possibility. We're off to a very mild start. Let's head out to the Rock Island camera and take a look at Rock Island and Malaga and Stamilt and Mission Ridge and the Clockham and Jump Off Ridge. Good morning to Rock Island. That camera high above the hamlet of Rock Island, looking down on the city itself. Good morning, Rock Island, and the mighty Columbia rolls right along. To the south shore of Lake Chelan we go. Hello, Lake Chelan. When do they start draining the bathtub? I think it's a while yet, but I have noticed that the area streams are really low, the area creeks and streams. The Icicle is super low, the Wenatchee is super low. It happens in October, and it'll last into November until the rains start coming to the upper elevations and starts filling them up a little bit anyway. Good morning to Lake Chelan. And our Smalls camera on the highway on your way up to Lake Chelan. Look at the sun reflecting on the Columbia River. Good stuff there. That's a beautiful golden sunshine. But changes are on the way. Now we got 5 more days of just gorgeous weather. Going to be sunny and warm under the influence of high pressure. A big ridge is going to continue to build up for the rest of the week, so it's going to be warm and dry. But then a pattern change is coming. A trough will be coming back in late Sunday night while you're sleeping into Monday morning. So we're going to go back to what we would normally have in October. Certainly cooler temperatures, a tad on the windy side. Maybe a little rain next week. That's next week. For the rest of this week and into the weekend, it can't get any better than this from the National Weather Service. Sunshine, 74. I think we might have underestimated that with this mild start. We could be 77, 78. Possible. Certainly it's going to be lots of sunshine. Just a little breeze, not much. 52 for the overnight low. Gorgeous on Thursday, again into the 70s, upper 70s perhaps. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, sunny and warm. This pattern change that we mentioned doesn't really happen until Sunday night. And by the time we get to Monday, we're going to cloud back up, have a chance of rain. By the way, Monday is a federal holiday. It is officially Columbus Day. Heads up on that. That's Monday. But for the next 5 days, no complaints at all. Still got time to get golf in and camping and stuff. It's beautiful weather. I'm liking that. 8 minutes after the hour, we're going to take a break. What made news? We'll let you know. It's next. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on a Winning Wednesday on the NCW Life channel.
We're turning up the heat with the hottest deals of the year. Right now, during the hot summer clearance sale, only at Click It RV. #1 in sales and service. The best RV brands. Over 1,000 to choose from. And the best deals of the year on remaining 2023 model year-end clearance with incredible 30% off. Brand new RVs discounted up to 30%. Save thousands. Plus, no payments until 2024. During the hot summer clearance sale, now only at Click It RV. 5 superstore locations. Hurry in today.
At Confluence Health, our mission is clear: to provide exceptional care for our community. We believe in healthcare that's personal and local because we're just like you, members of this great community.
We are Confluence.
Local care by and for our community.
Local care by and for our community.
Local care by and for our community.
We are Confluence.
Come to Cashmere Saturday, October 7th for the Pioneer Village Festival. Here are a few highlights your family can enjoy. Experience gold panning, sipping sarsaparilla in the saloon, riding a pony, or playing the fun and educational activities. It's the Pioneer Village Festival in Cashmere, October 7th. And be sure to thank our supporters of this message.
Cashmere Veterinary Clinic, natural pet care in everything they do. Stop by the Culinary Apple and elevate your cooking experience. With high-quality cookware, bakeware, and tools, you'll find just what you need. It's not too early to start thinking about the holidays. Pre-order your Apple gift packs and custom gift boxes now.
Located in the heart of downtown Chelan, Lake Chelan Sports is your best choice for outdoor apparel. Whether you're enjoying the lake or spending time with your family or simply relaxing, we have you covered. Welcome to Lake Chelan Sports.
We're now at 63 degrees in the Wenatchee Valley. It is unseasonably mild. Nothing but sunshine and warm temperatures all the way through Sunday, with a gradual warming trend before October returns, if you will, on Monday. It's 10 minutes after the hour. The person killed in a fiery one-vehicle crash near Orondo back in August has now been identified as 45-year-old Lester T. Haney of Mansfield. Haney was driving a 1999 Chevy Tahoe southbound on State Route 97 in the early morning hours of August 17th when his car left the roadway and struck a tree that caused his vehicle to burst into flames and engulfed his body. Douglas County Coroner Tanner Bateman told NCW Life he had to turn to DNA analysis to make an identification. Genetic material from Haney was sent out for lab work. Authorities identified Haney as the deceased driver yesterday afternoon. An East Wenatchee man faces sentencing in this week after a Douglas County jury convicted him on 3 counts of illicit drug possession with intent to distribute. 59-year-old Nicholas Dwayne Hayes was found guilty on Friday after a 3-day trial. The Columbia River Drug Task Force arrested Hayes in 2021 after the Department of Corrections discovered drug evidence in his home, including meth, fentanyl, and heroin. Hayes was on community custody at the time for a prior drug sale conviction. Police say he admitted to making small drug transactions. When he was interviewed, it took the jury about an hour and 45 minutes to reach its verdict. Hayes is due to be sentenced tomorrow. Authorities have identified an Arizona man as a pilot who was killed in the plane crash up Okanagan Way, just outside the town of Twisp on Sunday morning. Okanagan County Coroner Dave Rodriguez says the pilot, 59-year-old David B. Yanyo of Phoenix. Yanyo was the sole occupant of a single-engine Crubcaster's kit plane that crashed about 10:30 Sunday morning 1 mile up Finley Canyon. He was found deceased when rescuers reached the wreckage about 8 miles southeast of Twisp. The cause of the crash is under investigation by the FAA and the National Transportation Safety Board. Some 2,500 acres of land and more than 2 miles of crucial Okanagan County fish habitat are now in the hands of the Colville tribes. Antone Valley Ranch, it's near Tenasket, has been repatriated to the tribes under an agreement with the Western Rivers Conservancy. The area is the ancestral home of the Colvilles, and Antone Creek, which runs through the property, is a major spawning bed for Okanagan River steelhead. The nonprofit conservancy bought the land in 2020, deeded half of it to the Colvilles that year, and last week the second half was turned over to the tribes. The water rights will be supervised by the Washington Department of Ecology in partnership with the tribe. It's that time of the year again. Forest Service crews will be doing controlled burns all over north central Washington in some wildlife locations, including the Beehive Reservoir. That's 8 miles southwest of Wenatchee. The burning will take place in small parcels over the next couple of weeks. It's all about weather conditions. The agency says drivers should avoid traveling Forest Service Road 9712. That's the road that goes to the Beehive. While the crews are conducting that work, there'll be a warning by road signs. You won't be able to miss them. More prescribed burns also set for the Methow Valley Ranger District over the next couple of weeks. And you've probably heard about this by now, but today is the day you can expect pretty much every cell phone in your vicinity to sound an alarm today. They're going to try something. We're going to see how it works out. The federal government plans to conduct a nationwide test this morning of its emergency alert and wireless alert systems. That means cell phones, radios, and televisions will all sound a test signal at about the same time, at about 11:20 our time this morning. On cell phones, the test will be accompanied by a text in both English and Spanish. FEMA and the Federal Communications Commission says if they need to, they'll push the test back to October 11th. In a week, we shall see. That's the news at 1/4 and we will have the news for you tonight at 5, 6, and 10. We believe wholeheartedly that an informed viewer knowing what's going on around the Wenatchee Valley in north central Washington is a core principle of this TV station, which is why we do the news at 5, 6, and 10. If you can't watch it on television at 5, 6, and 10, it's available for you to watch on our Facebook page, on our YouTube page, and on our homepage at ncwlife.com. They're all there for you. And if you have a news tip, send us an email, news@ncwlife.com. The baseball playoffs are underway, my favorite time of the year. How did all the teams do? We'll let you know with sports. It's coming up. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
My name is Anna Marie. I've lived at Prestige here for 6.5 years, and I love it. They just made you feel so welcome. I love my room. I get 3 meals a day, do as I darn well want to. I've loved it ever since I moved in.
Mom's a wonderful, wonderful lady. She deserved the very best, and I got it for her here at Prestige.
Hey, hon, would you run this around to the wash rack?
Oh, okay.
Hey, hon, what happened?
They shrunk the truck.
The all-new mid-size Canyon is now available at Sangster Motors.
D.A. Davidson in Wenatchee provides financial services for independent-minded clients working to secure their futures. Whether it's helping construct your personal financial, retirement, or estate plan, they start with a disciplined approach and straightforward advice. An individualized approach is rooted in the values, stability, and strength their company was founded on in 1935. With offices coast to coast and personal attention you deserve right here in the Wenatchee Valley, learn more about D.A. Davidson.
Hey, welcome back to Save Mart. What can we help you find today?
We're looking for a mattress.
Oh, right this way. We got a large selection. We have this pillow top here.
Oh, comfortable.
We have more to choose from down here.
Oh.
I think I have the perfect one over here for you.
I guess we'll take this one.
You'll find it at Save Mart. Full service at a low, low price.
Just about 18 minutes after the hour, the playoffs began yesterday in Major League Baseball. The wild card round is underway in 3 cities, and here we go. Corey Seager, he went 2 for 4 with a run and an RBI. Evan Carter doubled twice to lead Texas over Tampa Bay 4-0. Jordan Montgomery went 7 strong innings of 6-hit shutout ball to put the Rangers up 1-0. Game 2 today, 12:08 on ABC. Royce Lewis homered twice. Minnesota takes Game 1 at Target Field over Toronto 3-1. Minnesota had lost 18 consecutive playoff games until yesterday. The Twins and the Blue Jays will meet in Game 2 today, 1:38 on ESPN. Arizona erased an early 3-0 deficit to win in Milwaukee 6-3. Corbin Carroll, Keitel Marte, and Gabriel Moreno all homered for the Diamondbacks. Game 2 this afternoon, 4:08 on ESPN2. And Alex Boehm's RBI double in the third gave Philadelphia a lead it would not relinquish in a 4-1 win over Miami. Game 2 of that series is at 5:08 on ESPN. While the rest of Major League focuses on the postseason, the Mariners are trying to figure out how to get back to the postseason. They had their press conference yesterday. They do it every year. President of Baseball Operations Jerry DiPoto, Executive Vice President and General Manager Justin Hollander, and Manager Scott Service met with the media yesterday to talk about the season and what comes next. Scott Service says the sting of being eliminated still sucks.
I love our team, the core of our team, the young players we have. They're exciting. They believe in what we're doing. They believe in the Mariners. And just like me, they were very emotional after we got eliminated Saturday night. It hurts. It is personal. And I'm not over it yet, as many around here can tell. It's going to take me a while. It's like our players. But there's a different vibe leaving this year than obviously last year. Last year, when it all ended, we were gassed. Physically, mentally, emotionally gassed. We're tired physically. Talking to the guys on Sunday after the game. but there's a burning desire to get into the offseason and make a difference. And that's what, the conversation I had with players, with coaches, that start here immediately. And expectations are great. I talked about it in spring training. They were raised dramatically than how they'd ever been here in the past. And I look for it to be up there again. Because in my mind, we are as good as the Astros and the Rangers, except for 1 or 2 games.
There's almost never one thing that goes wrong. It's a series of things that maybe could have gone differently or you could have done better. I don't think it's any one person's fault. I heard for a lot in the first half about Tommy Listella or Colton Wong or AJ Pollock or a double play we didn't turn or bases loaded situations with nobody out. It's never any one of those things. It's a collection of things that didn't quite go the way you wanted to. And amongst all those things were a ton of things that went really, really well. And I could sit up here and list all those and feel really good about how those will carry forward to next year. But I guess my best answer is it's not any one thing. It's a series of things that didn't go quite the way we hoped it would.
We have far more answers to the question, when does the championship come, than questions. And, we'll ask ourselves those questions headed into this year and answer them to the best of our ability. I don't know that the solution to our problems is big name players, and I'm not sure we have big problems. But would I like to have big name players? Sure, I think we all would. Whether that is by way of a big name player, there are a number of teams that are I guess evidence today that might not be the only way that you build a roster.
Of course, after the Mariners were eliminated, catcher Cal Raleigh had some pretty strong opinions, saying the Mariners just need to get better and get the players to get better. We'll see. Mariners, by the way, spring training begins in 133 days when pitchers and catchers report. Thought we'd throw that out there. The Wenatchee Panther girls volleyball team just rolls right along, unbeaten in Big 9 play. In fact, they haven't even lost a set in league play this year. Down in Yakima, the gateway to Wapato, they swept 3 from Eisenhower. Eastmont hosted Davis last night. Pirates came away with a 3-set win, 25-12, 25-20, 19-25, 25-20. Eric and our crew were at the Eastmont High School Gymnasium on the NCAA Live channel.
1 point away from giving Davis the first set win. Down to a knee is Staines. They'll reverse the set. Get it across. Davis. Oh, and that one was probably out, but Eastmont, fearing that it might be the final point of this set, kept it alive. Pirates back out front. A little beautiful touch on the left hand from the middle for the point. Paige Gasling, and Davis takes the first set here, 25-12. And Wheeler, who has served a lot of points here so far, has a serve for Davis. Little soft serve this time to Staines up front. They'll reverse the rotation, touch at the net, and we're still playing. Pirates kill. Blocked by Staines, but she can't get it to one of her teammates, and so the kill is good by Wilsey. And another point to Davis, and the Pirates take the second one. It'll be Howe on the service. She's had a good game here in this third set. Howe's service. Down is Wheeler, and an ace and a point. And Eastmont comes back and wins the third set by a score of 25-19. Left hand from the right side. Sudam in the middle. Wheeler up front rotation. Kill attempt back line. Eastmont keeping it alive. They got to get it across. They do. And a point! I think Davis didn't think that Eastmont was going to get to it, so they relaxed a little bit. Pirates trying to wrap it up here on the road tonight to improve to 4-2 in Big 9 play. Service by Hull. Back line is Staines. Up front rotation. Here's the kill attempt. It's wide. And the points and match will go to Davis as the Pirates win it on the road here 3-1, taking this fourth set 25-20.
All right, to the Les Schwab scoreboard we go. In other girls volleyball action last night, as you see, Ephrata had his hands full with Prosser, but they did top the Mustangs at 25-8, 17, 21-25, and 26-24. Omax swept Quincy, and Caribou Trail League play yesterday, Chelan sweeping Cascades. In the B School last night, Manson swept Bridgeport. Okanagan takes 3 from Tenasket. Brewster topped Orville. Antioch beat Riverside Christian. Wilson Creek sweeping Easton. Cascade Christian edging Pateras. Soap Lake takes down Moses Lake Christian, and Waterville Mansfield swept Thorpe. To the pitch we go. Eastmont remains atop the Big 9 girls soccer standings. No problems. They had no issues with Davis last night. The final 5-0. The Wildcats getting 2 goals each from Liliana Johnson and Kylie Matrichit, and a tally from Julia Martinez. Alessandra Titchener stopped all 5 shots on goal for the Wildcats. Piper Davidson scored twice for Wenatchee, but it wasn't enough. Eisenhower came into the Apple Bowl and took down the Panthers 4-3. Natalie Bowles tied the game at 2 in the second half, but the Cadets countered with a couple of goals late, and they held on for the win. Moses Lake won a non-league match against Othello. Quincy topped Omak 5-1. Cascade down Chelan 4-1. Okanagan blasted Bridgeport 9-2. Lake Roosevelt rolled over Orville. Patera shut out Manson, and Tenasket topped Brewster. And those are just some of the games that people are playing on this Wednesday, October 4th. I could have chosen for the obscure holiday World Animal Day. It's National Vodka Day. National Golf Lovers Day. Shouldn't that be like in May? I don't know. Cinnamon Roll Day. Improve your office day, but you're going to hear about this all day long. It's National Taco Day. Now, when I look at that photo, I think I could have probably chosen a better photo than that, because that's not really a taco. You know, I like the traditional taco that you would find at the taco wagons and Mexican restaurants. Tacos go back to the Aztecs in the 16th century. Eventually worked its way north to Texas, Arizona, New Mexico, and California. Taco trucks started showing up. As soon as trucks started showing up in the 1920s, they were all over the western and southwestern United States. And then, of course, Mexican restaurants began to open up, and they would serve their own kind of taco. And now tacos are everywhere. How many tacos do just Americans eat each year? You want to guess? Rough guesstimate on how many tacos we consume? 5 billion. 5 billion tacos. Between the tacos that we get at fast food restaurants or Mexican restaurants, or we make them at home, 5 billion tacos Americans consume every year. And 2 billion of those are from Taco Bell. And that's not even a taco. We won't get into that. There'll be deals all over the place. Any kind of restaurant that serves tacos today, they'll be doing free tacos or tacos for $1 or whatever. You will find the deals, and you won't have to look very hard, because it is National Taco Day. I will probably partake before the day is over. 27 minutes after the hour, a lot of things happened on October 4th. For one thing, a friendly reminder that George Washington didn't win them all, but by losing this battle, it actually changed the course of the Revolutionary War. October 4th, 1777, 246 years ago today, George Washington and his troops are repelled by the British troops under the command of William Howe. It was the Battle of Germantown, just outside of Philadelphia. We got swamped pretty good, but 2 things came out of this. Number one, the French said, we're in. Yeah, the French wanted to help the Americans out, but the French couldn't stand the British, so it worked out bad. The French said, we're going to send you aid, we're going to send you troops, we're going to send you Lafayette, we're going to help you win this war, because you're not going to win this war without us. And number 2, Bill Howe, the British general, didn't pursue George and his troops. He let them go. They got decimated. They were in retreat. He said, whatever, we're going to watch TV and play ping pong. In the meantime, what was left of George Washington's army snuck across the Delaware River and went off to Valley Forge. They could have ended it there and then during their retreat, but they didn't. They sat around. Big game changer, 246 years ago today. 96 years ago today, there it is. It's in South Dakota. George and Teddy and Thomas and Abe. That was before the facelift. That's Mount Rushmore before they started building Mount Rushmore, which they started to do. 96 years ago today, Gutzon Borglum begins sculpting Mount Rushmore. It took 14 years, and they kept running out of money. So they would spend all the money that they had, and then they would stop, and then they would start again, and they would stop, and then there was wars and all that other stuff. 14 years, and then when poor Gutzon met his maker and died in 1941, they just said, okay, it's done. It's good. They began sculpting Mount Rushmore on this date in 1927. That's what it looked like before, by the way. I like what it looks like now. 68 years ago today, after 7 trips to the World Series and 7 losses, including 5 to the Yankees, the Brooklyn Dodgers win their one and only World Championship while they were in Brooklyn, defeating the Yankees in Game 7 at Yankee Stadium. The final was 2-0. New York went about their business. Brooklyn went crazy, and here's how it ended.
1 out in Brooklyn's fourth. Campanella doubles to the left field corner for his team's first hit. Campanella comes home when Hodges singles to left, and the Dodgers are out in front, 1-0. Gill hits a sacrifice fly to Bob Serve, scoring Reese, and the Dodgers have a 2-0 lead. There goes the drive down the left field line, and Sandy Amaris races for the ball, sticks out his glove just in time and makes the catch. And McDougal has rounded second base. He throws to Reese, and Reese's peg to Hodges doubles McDougal at first. Elston Howard sends a grounder to Pee Wee Reese, and these Dodgers at last are world champions. Delirious with joy, teammates and fans mob the Brooklyn pitcher in wild acclaim. In the Dodger clubhouse is the pandemonium only a great victory can generate. And setting the zany pace are Gil Hodges, Duke Snyder, and Don Newcomb. This is Brooklyn's greatest baseball day.
The Dodgers finally did it. October 4th, 1955. 66 years ago today, October 4th, 1957, everybody looked up into the sky and went, what the heck is that? Came out of nowhere. Nobody knew this was happening. Sputnik launched in the Soviet Union, the very first artificial satellite to orbit the Earth. Wow. I checked this morning, and there are 7,702 satellites orbiting the Earth. Sputnik no longer up there, but it was the game changer, and everybody went, uh-oh. What exactly does this mean? Scared a lot of people back in 1957. 58 years ago today, this is hard to believe, Pope Paul VI became the first pontiff, the first bishop of Rome, the first pope to visit the Americas. In fact, before 1965, for the previous 100 years, the Pope never even left Italy. Never even left Italy. But finally, in 1965, Pope Paul VI visits the United States, and every pope since has visited the United States at least once, but he was the first. Came to New York City and Washington, D.C. 58 years ago today. 26 years ago today, if you've ever seen the movie The Masterminds, it's based on this bizarre incident. $17.3 million in cash is stolen from the regional office in Charlotte, North Carolina of the Loomis Fargo Company, their vault. The ringleader, David Gant, alongside his girlfriend, Kelly Campbell, who, by the way, was married and used to work with David at the Loomis, and then Stephen Chambers, who was a one-time FBI informant, his wife, also Michael Gobbies and 4 other co-conspirators in the wee small hours of the morning make off with $17.3 million in cash. And the investigators knew immediately it was Dave Gant and his crew. For one thing, Dave Gant, who was the vault supervisor, didn't bother to show up to work the next day. Probably should have gone to work, Dave. And number 2, they just took a look at the security tapes and said, that's Dave Gant taking $17.3 million and loading it into an armored truck and driving away with it. Smart move, Dave. All the conspirators agreed they wouldn't spend any money at all for a couple of years, because if they went out and started spending money like drunken sailors, the FBI is going to find them. They didn't do it. They went in and started spending money like drunken sailors. Not smart. By the way, they recovered about 90% of the money. They never got about $2 million back. They spent it before they had a chance to recover. 34 minutes after the hour, celebrity birthdays. We always do presidents. Rutherford B. Hayes, one of our more forgettable presidents, but he was wounded 5 times, seriously wounded 5 times during the Civil War, served 1 term, won the very controversial presidential election of 1876, said, I'm only going to serve 1 term, and then he only served 1 term. My second favorite person ever to be born in Delaware, Ohio. Now he's best known for his wife, Lucy. whose nickname was Lemonade Lucy because she prohibited alcohol of any kind in the White House. Rutherford B. Hayes, born in the state in 1822. You know him as Charlton Heston. He was born John Carter. When you're born John Carter and you want to be a big Hollywood star, you change your name to Charlton Heston. He was born 100 years ago today. Charlton Heston, still a pretty good actor. And one of the greatest baseball managers and baseball minds ever, Tony La Russa, is 79 years old. He won 2,902 games as a Major League Baseball manager with the White Sox and the A's and the Cardinals and the White Sox again. That's second only to Connie Mack. He also won 3 World Championships, and he is in the Hall of Fame, happily retired at the age of 79, Tony La Russa. The guy knows baseball. 36 minutes after the hour, still to come, Mike Mignotti has an opinion. Also, we're going to re-air our profile that we did, the Wenatchee High School's podcast production and audio storytelling class with Brandon Harley and a couple of his students. That's coming up. But first, friendly reminder, it's Winning Wednesday, and you get to choose your prize today. I got 4 tickets to see a movie at the Sun Basin Theaters, either the Liberty Theater in downtown Wenatchee or the Gateway Theater out there in Old Station. They're both owned by Sun Basin, not the Voodale Drive-In. They're not around anymore. They won't let you in the gate. This doesn't do you any good. These tickets expire at the end of the month, so I thought I'd better give them away. I got 4 of them. Go to the movies, 4 of them. Or, if you want, coming up this weekend, this Friday and Saturday at the Grant County Fairgrounds, it's Flannel Fest. Tribute bands for the Cranberries, Pearl Jam, Red Hot Chili Peppers, Blink-182, Smashing Pumpkins, Nirvana, no doubt Alice in Chains, Green Day. There's not the actual bands, they're tribute bands. I got 10 tickets for Flannel Fest for Friday and Saturday. This will get you in both days. You go in one day, you can go in the next day, they give you a wristband. So put it on your subject line. Winner@ncwlife.com, winner@ncwlife.com. That's how you enter, via the email. But in the subject line, you got to tell me whether you want to go to Flannel Fest this weekend at Moses Lake or if you want to go to the movies, all right? You're watching a Winning Wednesday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley.
Winter is a great time to trade in your current hot tub. Turn your old hot tub into money with Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa's trade-in program. You can save $500 to $1,000 off of any new artesian spa or take advantage of a free Bluetooth music experience. Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa recommends draining your hot tub every 3 months. Ask us about our drain and refill special. Stop on by Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa today.
Hi everybody, Dan Kuntz alongside Jesse Coble from Alpine Air. My heat pump there's like steam coming out of it. It's making weird noises. Is this something I need to be concerned about?
No, Dan, that's normal operation. Refrigeration technology steals heat from the outside, transfers it to the inside, and it creates frost on your heat pump. The defrost cycle melts that off, which creates steam and a little bit of noise.
That makes sense. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air. For heat and air, call Alpine Air. Thanks, Jesse.
Thank you.
Friday, September 29th. Check out the Reckless Ones coming up from Los Angeles.
Bring the whole family up to Stormy Mountain Brewing and local public house in historic downtown Chelan. Applewood smoked brisket, street-style tacos, and our award-winning barbecue rubs and sauces. Our meals pair perfectly with our exciting lineup of craft ales, made right here in Chelan. We've got room for big groups, or give us a call for catering. So grab the kids and check out the fun at Stormy Mountain Brewing and local public house located in the heart of Chelan.
Are you dealing with a pest or weed issue and you just don't know what to do?
We use the best pest control methods approved for areas with kids and pets.
Whether it's rats, mice, ants, or spiders,
or something else altogether.
We provide the coaching and solutions you're looking for.
And you can know that your dollars are supporting a local, family-owned and operated business.
Allow us to help you get back to living healthy and pest-free. Harvest Valley Pest Control.
Hey, this is Mike
Mad Dog McNally, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. Now, I'm in the grocery store one Saturday morning, and I need to use a regular check stand, not the self-check thing. Now, guess what? There's no check stand open. Does this business not realize that the check stands are where their money comes in, and taking my money for their stuff is what they're in business for, isn't it? Well, isn't that the point of their business, for them to offer me stuff that I'm willing to give them money for? You know, I know there's issues with getting enough employees, but there are people who work in these local businesses who've told me that they need more hours, but they and other employees' hours are being cut and they can't get enough. Now, I got no problem with a business working to improve their bottom line, but is it getting to the point that some businesses seem to have forgotten that they are dependent on customers like me, customers who have other options? And if it gets to the point where a business priorities tip the scales to where they think they're doing me a favor to take my money, well, there's little question as to why some businesses go belly up. This is Mike Mad Dog McNally, and that's my opinion.
When you call Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning, you're calling on 35 plus years of experience in the Wenatchee Valley. Spending extra time in your home, you may have discovered an unwanted aroma. Stinky feet, pets, who knows what. Call Dick's today about installing their Train Clean Effects electronic air cleaner or a Rheem Halo ultraviolet air purifier. Either way, the air quality in your home will be improved. Proudly servicing all of North Central Washington, call 884-6444 today.
The Wenatchee Valley. Here, most of us really enjoy the great outdoors, and most of us try to make the most of our natural resources. Here at Apple Valley Honda, we know that for generations, we have harnessed nature to sustainably power the West, and we are proud to be part of that tradition as an environmentally green dealership award winner. Being a green dealership means Apple Valley Honda has reduced our overall environmental impact. We are so proud to live in this wonderful community.
Coming home should never be a chore. Let Merry Maids of Wenatchee customize all your cleaning needs. Weekly, bi-weekly, special occasion. Do you have a vacation home that needs cleaning? We clean them too. Locally owned and operated, let Merry Maids do the cleaning while you focus on your family and friends. Merry Maids has special offers to fit your budget. Request your free cleaning estimate today. 509-663-1710.
Caught in a conflict? Family? Workplace? Neighbor? Business? Housing disputes? Wenatchee Valley Dispute Resolution Center provides mediation services, a cost-effective and efficient way to provide a written resolution to disputes and issues. Plus, we offer mediation training and community education on conflict resolution and communication skills. Contact us to learn more.
Most of us are in touch with the internet in one way or another all day long. A fast, secure connection matters. It keeps us entertained, informed, and in touch. Localtel cares about your connection. We know strong, reliable internet with your choice of speed makes life better. If you need fast, reliable internet, or maybe an upgrade, or you just have questions, connect with us by visiting localtel.com or call 509-888-8888 today.
I have no professional background experience in podcasting, which was difficult. I enrolled in the Berkeley School of Advanced Media Institute to take a few classes. They helped coach me up. We were lucky enough to meet with them a couple times to talk to them about what we were going to do. I've had a chance to talk to other people around the state that have had some experience doing this. We've talked to people locally that have run some podcasts. So I've tried to pass on what I know to them, which is very little at this point, but I continue to build. This year, we're trying to build outward with that and have more podcasts produced in our class, not just stories, but ones that we can share later on. Well, it was an interesting conversation with our career and technical education director, Mr. Jake Buholtz. I came to him with a couple ideas about how to do projects for social studies courses. And one of the ideas was, being able to share a story with sound. And he said, let me get back to you, I had a couple ideas. And it is a field that is burgeoning, and obviously I think a lot of people started to first listen to podcasts during COVID. We had a lot more downtime and a lot of time to listen to more things. And since that time, the market has really multiplied. And with that, there's been a lot of kids who have been interested in telling stories through sound. So I think that the biggest reason why we chose to do it is because it's relevant now. It's something that kids find interest in, and we can focus on their stories and their voice.
My project was about the green band pods that blew up in 2021. Basically, if you don't know, during COVID, we had to find creative ways to rehearse together, and the theater department came up with this idea to have the theater kids together recording in these green, like, personal changing tents that they would cut a hole out and put, like, plastic over to make windows. So our music secretary ordered a bunch, and we numbered them, and we made them. We cut out the windows and we made them for the band, and that's how we've rehearsed, because you can't just be spitting into your instrument and having it fly everywhere. So we would play in them, we would disinfect them, let them air out for the next day so we could use them. And pictures got posted to from a newspaper to Reddit, and it blew up on Reddit. A lot of people actually got really, really pressed and mad about it and said it was child abuse. There was a lot of nasty comments. It was all over TikTok and Instagram. It was crazy, and the whole time we're just thinking, like, people are making this like a harmful thing when it was really helpful and like innocent. And we were so excited to be rehearsing together again, and it just kind of dampened the whole thing. Like, we were so upset after it.
I decided to make mine on my dad. He used to have a fishing boat with his dad out on the coast, and I remember just so many crazy stories he'd be telling me, either about like getting in a wreck with another ship, or like a huge storm and almost sinking. And that stuff was just so interesting to me. It's always has been. And I thought, if I took that as a concept for a podcast, I felt like I could make it really immersive, like with a whole bunch of sounds and SFX, so that's why.
I would say ours took 2 to 3 weeks. We came up with the idea. We didn't have much time, since it was really busy time for band, because we had parades coming up. And parades take a lot of rehearsal time, so we were all really busy practicing, but we scripted the thing. That took probably 2 hours in total. Our interviews took a little longer to set up, but we got them all, and then editing took so long, but it was a lot of fun editing. But.
Yeah, kind of the same for me, about 2 to 3 weeks, because at the beginning of the year, he told us, like, this is what we're gonna do. I have these 2 like competitions that I want you guys to make a podcast for and submit it to them, and one of them was the New York Times. So it came up, was it our final? Kind of our final at the end of the year?
Yeah.
And he said, this is your final podcast, I'm gonna be submitting all of these to the New York Times. And I think I came up with the idea of my dad's fishing boat like earlier on in the year, but I wanted to wait to my final one, just because I thought it was such a cool concept. So about 2 to 3 weeks of like scripting to interviews, editing, and then submitting it.
Well, when the kids came to me, we always have kind of a strategy session about some ideas, and sometimes kids have good ideas, other ones have a hard time finding out what they want to do. I've known Cade literally his whole life. His dad is somebody that I'm very close with, and I've heard that story many times. So when Cade told me that he was going to use that as the basis for his podcast, I thought that's going to be a home run. There's so many great ways that story could go, and he did a great job of interviewing not only his dad, but his grandfather and his uncle, who all lived that life. So I knew that a couple reasons. That story is just compelling, but it was made for a podcast story with so many good parts. The other part with Sophie and the now infamous green tent photograph that stirred up so much. When they told me, hey, what do you think about us doing a story from what it looked like being inside the tent? I was like, that's gonna. I joked with them, I was like, you guys are gonna win this contest. It's gonna be a winner. So when they were awarded an honorable mention for that, I was not surprised. They did such a great job of interviewing all of these people that were so affected, from our front desk secretary to the principal, who received countless calls, and most of them not very nice, from people that day. Those girls did such a great job, right? Nobody asked them once what it was like for them to be inside those tents, and everybody's narrative ran away from that, and they wanted to say, well, here's our story, here's our voice.
We actually got an honorable mention for an NPR competition, but we didn't know, and I didn't think we made it because I figured Harley would know, and he didn't email me until like maybe a month ago, whenever he was like, oh, I just looked at this thing, congrats. So I sent it to my friends and I said, look, we made it, and we were so excited. We all posted it on our Instagram stories. Everybody was so thrilled for us. It was a funny little moment.
I think he told my mom, because he got the results for the New York Times and was just scrolling through it and found my name. He told my mom, and then I think I was at my friend's house, and my mom just called me, and everybody was super excited and proud.
I think when kids come to class, the first thing they think of is a podcast is just two people sitting down interviewing each other and being entertained. And that takes a skill as well. So that is not what we were doing. We wanted to try to show them the skills of telling a story. So the class itself is not just podcasting 101, it's intro to podcast production and audio storytelling. And that's intentional. We wanted kids to come in and be able to build a story that they can tell about themselves, their interests, their lives, the things that have happened to them. And then also include, some interview techniques. It is very much a journalistic kind of approach. And then using that information, much like you're telling the story about my class, you break it up into parts, you edit it, you add sound effects. We talk about copyright, what things you can and can't legally use. We get a little bit into Foley effects, where kids can create sounds to include into their podcast. So we want to build from the ground. First thing, my students right now are recording themselves on their very flimsy Chromebook microphones, and we do that on purpose because we want them to hear it and think that doesn't sound great. And then we provide better tech and then editing and ways that they can layer it with music and edit out some mistakes, overlap sound, and do those things. So we start small, record your voice, submit it, record your voice, come up with a theme, an idea for a podcast, make it up, make up your guest. My students right now are making up some interviewees. Somebody's going to interview Kurt Cobain, and a couple other actors are being interviewed, Timothy Chalamet by some of our girls. So they're going to pretend to build one that kind of is an intro, and then we'll go from there. It was such a new medium, new class. I didn't really know it. I had knew about the New York Times student podcasts and NPR student podcasts. So I thought that's a great way to start. We can use that as a way to try to build towards completing a project. And those have different due dates. Our student organization, the TSA, has one as well. So we use those to kind of build our skills, and the success that not only did Cade and Sophie have, but other students with building that kind of sound. And just because they didn't get picked by those didn't mean there was some other ones that were fantastic. I'm just really happy that they had the ability to kind of shine a light on what they did. And that in turn obviously brings interest to Wenatchee High School. So the hope is that we build more student interest so we can have multiple sections of it in the future.
Crystal's Intimate Lounge in downtown Leavenworth is a wonderful place to enjoy mouth-watering appetizers and drinks while socializing, watching sports, playing bingo, pull tabs, or simply relaxing while enjoying the breathtaking mountain views. Crystal's family-friendly restaurant has a warm environment to enhance your dining experience, serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner 7 days a week. Crystal's restaurant, lounge, and event space is located 2 blocks west of downtown Leavenworth on Highway 2.
At Washington Trust Bank, can't is a 4-letter word.
I think I'll sell my veggies at the market.
Do you even remember to water the house plants? I do this?
You can do this.
Hey, we need to build a home office.
we're adding another bathroom.
I think I'll study programming.
Bro, you can't even connect your phone to Bluetooth.
We believe you can do whatever you set your mind to, and we'll help you get there. Washington Trust Bank, privately owned, locally invested.
Great wine starts in the vineyard, where sun, soil, and geography play a symphony. Join us at Chelan Cellars this harvest season to share the music of Chelan, AVA's most awarded vineyards and wines. Tuscan Vineyard Wagon tours every Saturday during harvest.
Whoa, whoa.
All right, I can't believe how warm it is. 63 degrees. It's a beautiful autumn morning here in the big city. One more weather forecast I think you're going to like is coming right up. But once more, a friendly reminder, it is Winning Wednesday and it is back, and you get to choose your prize this morning. If you're just joining us, I was going through my desk the other day, and I've had these Sun Basin Theater passes, these tickets to go see the movies at Sun Basin Theaters, Liberty Theater downtown, or the Gateway out there in Old Station. And I was looking at them the other day and said, these expire at the end of October. It actually has an expiration date. So I thought, better give these away on Winning Wednesday. And because I still had a few left over, I got 4 of them right here. So you can take yourself and 3 of your friends, or yourself, 2 of your friends, and 1 of your enemies to the movies. I don't care. Winner at ncwlife.com, or in the subject line, if you want to go see Flannel Fest this weekend at the Grant County Fairgrounds in Moses Lake, you can do that. What is Flannel Fest? It's Friday night and all day Saturday. Beer garden, food trucks, espresso, camping, everything you need. It is, as you might imagine, 90s tribute bands. Tribute bands for the Cranberries. Tribute band that plays the hits of Pearl Jam, Red Hot Chili Pepper. That's the Friday night lineup. On Saturday, you got 7 bands. Back to back to back. Smashing Pumpkins, Blink-182. Again, these are tribute bands. These aren't the real deal. Nirvana, I mean, if Kurt Cobain showed up, that would be remarkable. A No Doubt tribute band, a Alice in Chains tribute band, a Green Day tribute band, and they wrap it up at 9:30 with Motor Breath. A Metallica tribute band is 2 nights, and these tickets are good for both days. So you go Friday, you get a wristband, you can camp and party, and then go all day Saturday. And I got 10 of these. Now, the only caveat here for Flannel Fest, it's Friday and Saturday night, this Friday and Saturday night at the Grant County Fairgrounds, is because they will have a beer garden, you got to be at least 21 to win these. There isn't an age limit on the movie tickets, but there is on these. You got to be at least 21 to win the Flannel Fest tickets this Friday and Saturday. Boy, it's going to be beautiful out there in the basin, too, to check out these 90s tribute bands. 10 tickets to Flannel Fest both days, or 4 tickets to go see the movies. Put what you want in the subject line. Winner at ncwlife.com, winner at ncwlife.com. More than 1 entry per email address. You can't do it. You can enter more than once if you have more than 1 email address, but you can't enter it continuously. And employees of local telecommunications solely on broadcasts and their media families are not eligible. Sorry, Tucker. There. Changes are coming, Mother Nature tells us, but not till Monday. We're still under the influence of a big ridge, high pressure, and it's going to be large and in charge right through the rest of the week. But starting Monday, Columbus Day, it is a federal holiday, you're going to start seeing some cooler conditions, some windier conditions, some wetter conditions for most of next week. That's next week. So there is changes coming to the weather, but in the meantime, the next 5 days look fantabulous from the National Weather Service. I think we're going to get warmer than that 74. I really do. That's what we hit yesterday. We hit 74. I think we're going to be closer to 77 or 78 today. Anyway, lots of sunshine. just a little bit breeze, just gorgeous weather. Get out and enjoy these days while you can. It ain't going to last forever, but the next 5 days look mighty fine. Right to the mid to upper 70s. We're going to be kissing 80 on Saturday and Sunday, and then by Sunday night, the aforementioned high-pressure ridge will begin to break down. A system will roll in. We're going to cloud up and get some rain, they tell us, on Monday and Tuesday. That's it for us. We will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.